Hey Discover, we are opening church this Sunday for 3 services, 8:30, 10 a.m. and 11:30. I want to give you kind of a quick run through of how things are going to go down on Sunday. First of all, what you need to know is that our 8:30 a.m. service will not have childcare. We won't be doing Discover Kids for our 8:30 a.m. service, but 10:30 and 11 a.m. will. It's going to be from ages 2 years old up through 3rd grade. If you've got an infant or if you got a 4th and 5th grader, we're going to invite you to bring them with you into the auditorium. That being said, let me show how this is going to be done. So first of all, in your car, our goal is, again, we're going to be exceeding CDC guidelines, and our goal is that you can leave your car and get to your seat without touching any germy heathens. Okay, so let's just see how this is going to work. Now listen, this is not completely set up. This is kind of like a dry run of how things are going to go through on Sunday, but let's check this out. All right, so you're going to exit your vehicle. Now if you're a volunteer, you see our volunteer check-in sign, and you're going to go to the volunteer check-in station, which this is going to be right in front of CareNet over here. And if you have a child with you, you're going to go to Discover Kids check-in. We're going to have our check-in booth for Discover Kids outside. Now, if you do have a child with you, all of our children are going to be screened for COVID, and they're going to be temperature checked before they check in. Now, if your child has a fever, now this is not something new, but if your child has a fever, you should stay home with your child. So that's what's going to happen here. The Discover Kids is going to use a separate entrance on Sunday, so they'll be checked in here and go through a different entrance. But if you don't have a child, you're simply going to walk in. You have a beautiful opportunity to love thy neighbor and wash thy hands with some hand sanitizer. So we walk into the auditorium. You can see that we have some social distancing stickers, and the reason for this is because we're only using one entrance on Sunday. You'll walk up to the entrance. You'll have another amazing opportunity to wash your hands, because Lord knows y'all are dirty people. So anyways, an usher is going to meet you here, and an usher will walk you to your seat in the auditorium. Now the rows in the auditorium, you'll notice, are now 6 feet apart. We've made our rows 6 feet apart. An usher is going to seat you safely from the front to the back, and make sure that any people who aren't your family members are going to be sitting at least 3 chairs away from you. So that's the way the auditorium is going to work. It's going to be an amazing time of worship. We're going to be starting an amazing series about how to maintain certainty in uncertain times. And so after the service is dismissed, we're going to dismiss the auditorium 1 row at a time, which again, you'll be reminded of at the end of the service. So stay seated until an usher clears your row. We're going to do that from the back to the front. So those in the back get to go first. That's just the way the Lord organized things. And again, that's just to keep the exit from being bunched up and things like that. So you'll leave 1 row at a time, and you'll just simply exit. Now here's what you need to know. Our lobby is not going to be used in its typical way. And probably the saddest thing about that is you'll notice that our coffee bar has been pipe and draped off, which means we won't have the locally roasted Maddox coffee here on Sunday. You'll need to bring your own coffee. You'll still see some smiling faces, but they won't be on the other side of the coffee bar. But again, bring your own coffee and water. The stuff that you're used to as far as next steps in the lobby, all this is going to happen in a tent outside. So you'll be able to, if you're a first-time guest, get your first-time guest gift. If you want to sign up for a life group or anything like that, you can find all that information in the parking lot as opposed to lobby. Again, we want people out. Our services are going to be about 45 minutes long. That's to give us about 45 minutes between each service in order to clean. When you exit, I kind of messed up, but when you exit, you're going to exit from this side, and you'll see here that you have an opportunity. If you have kids and Discover Kids, you would go this way through here to get your kids out of Discover Kids. You can't leave them behind, you guys. Or you could simply exit, and again, it's a touch-free service. Between services, we're going to be wiping down all the chairs to keep it as safe as possible. One thing you should notice is that our bathroom occupancy, just so you know, listen, I'm going through everything, is limited to 2 people at a time. So y'all can't just smash in there. So it's limited to 2 people at a time. We are going to have a bathroom attendant that's going to make sure that it's kept to 2 people at a time. They're going to give you breath mints and expect a tip from you. I'm just kidding. That's not how that's going down. But there will be somebody there just to make sure it's maintained as safe as possible. And if we were to run out of room in our auditorium just because the rows are spaced 6 feet apart, we have set up an overflow space, which you can kind of see is kind of coming together. So if we run out of space in there, this will be our overflow space. Everything live will be piped in here. This is the same thing that everybody will be watching at home as well. This area won't be used since the check-in is taking place outside, but I kind of want to show you what your kids are in for if you check them in. So you'll notice that in every place that there is a handle in our Discover Kids area, there's an amazing opportunity for your kids to sanitize thy hands. And so what we're doing is we're limiting the space in our kids area. Each classroom can only have 10 children in it. And again, that's just to keep our volunteers and your children as safe as possible. All of our volunteers, whether in Discover Kids, on the worship team, wherever they might be, are required to wear a mask and be temperature checked before arriving. Or before serving. So that's what's going to happen in here. If this space does fill up and you've got a child with you, again, we're going to invite you to bring that child with you to our auditorium. And just so you know, I'm not going to embarrass you if your kid is loud. I know how it goes. I know it wasn't your choice to have your child in there with you. But let me just also tell you, if this space is full and you do need to bring your child with you into the auditorium, this is an amazing opportunity for your child to watch you worship and see what it means to make church first in your life. So just going to be an amazing Sunday. I can't wait to see you guys. If you're not going to be here because you feel safer at home, please know, and please don't have any kind of fear of missing out. We are not going to be doing a parade here. There's not going to be any kind of party favors as people leave. There's not going to be any confetti launch. There's not going to be a ribbon cutting. You can stay home and be safe at home. Many people have tested me about masks, asking about whether masks will be required, and they will be. And if you don't have a mask, we can provide one for you. But again, we want to keep this place as safe as possible, as we only have 14 cases of COVID-19 here in Macon County, and we want to do our best effort to keep it that way. But we are really excited to see you guys Sunday. It's going to be an amazing time just to be back home again in our building and worshiping together. We'll see you there.